Now this is something special, you guys. This is the Bugatti Atlantic, the secret Bugatti that was never made. Take a look at this. You got butterfly doors, and then look at what happens in the back. Welcome to the Supercar Blondie channel, you guys. This is really, really exciting. And just before we get to what's happening in here, just want to thank Bugatti so much for making this happen today. This has really been under wraps for so many years, this car, and they've brought it to Molsheim for us here on the Supercar Blondie channel, just so that we can take a look at it. Subscribe right now if you haven't. We've got so much more to show you. Right, look at this. Look, you've got special Bugatti suitcases here in the back. Imagine walking around with this baby. And then this one as well. I don't want to put it on the floor because it's a bit wet, but you see how it rolls here? It's a fully rollable suitcase. What they've done is, for the first time, they've moved the engine, right? So in a Chiron and Veyron, you have a mid-engine car, which basically means the engine is here, behind the front seats. In this one, they've moved the engine to the front. Now you've got this long nose here to fit the engine, and this would actually have a different engine to the Chiron or the Veyron. This would have a twin-turbo V8. But the interesting thing is that the whole drivetrain is replaceable, so that you can choose between a twin-turbo V8 or a fully electric Bugatti Atlantic. So for different markets and different conditions, you could go, right, I want the Atlantic fully electric. I live in Switzerland and no one likes the noise of a V8. In the American market, you'd go, I want the roar of the V8, let's go. It was going to be unveiled in 2015. Unfortunately, that did not come to be. Because of the VW emissions scandal, Bugatti is owned by VW, they had to kind of put everything on hold and just work out what the implications of that would be. And this then got axed, it got cancelled, which is a huge disappointment. I don't know for you guys, but for me especially, because you don't have a Bugatti, a new Bugatti on the market today with these butterfly doors. To have a car that looks like this would have been so incredible. Take a look inside, look at this. It's a massive door that actually half of the roof opens up as well, so you can easily slide in and out of the car. We're gonna get, oh, you know what, I'll get in now. Why not? Why not? This is my first little sit in this incredible car. All right, look here, it says Atlantic. This is a pretty standard Bugatti steering wheel. You see something very similar in the Chiron with the engine start button here. Chassis number 1. Oh, man, if this came to be, wow, we'd see this on the roads, that's awesome. Look at this very, very thin center console here as well. That looks freaking cool. How it's all open up underneath here. And look at this. It's see-through with a little Bugatti logo in there. That's a really nice design feature. What we know is that it would have been priced below the Chiron. They're actually going to take parts from their partners at VW. So VW owns a lot of different car brands, and they were going to take various parts, bits and pieces from other VW brands in order to keep the cost of this car lower than a Chiron. Chiron is worth 2.3 million euros, so this might have been 1 to 2 million euro. If you come around the front, you see this line going from the front here all the way over the hood, over the top of the car, and all the way here to the back. This design actually references the Type 57 SC from the 1930s. That car is actually thought to be the world's most expensive car today. There were apparently 4 made. One of them is missing at this point. No one really knows where it is or if it even exists still, and that's La Voiture Noire. If you find it or if you know where it is, hook us up. Let us know in the comments section. I mean, you never know. You just go down to your dad's back shed and see if there's just La Voiture Noire just hiding out there and you had no idea. You never know. It could be somewhere. The 3 that exist today are super expensive, you guys. One of them changed hands a couple years ago and the new owner paid $34 million. The one that's missing could be worth over $100 million. You can see this centerline on the Type 57 SC. The material that that car was made out of couldn't be welded together. So what they did is they brought the 2 parts together and then in the middle they put rivets down to hold the 2 pieces, and that's what created this kind of line going down the whole car. So that's what they've done on this car as well. All right, I think it's time to bring in our favorite person, Frank. Frank actually designed this car, so he's got so much more to tell you about it. He's the Deputy Design Director of Bugatti. What an entrance.
What's up?
What's up? This is Frank. And do you know what? He's actually decided to join the digital world.
I have, that's true.
You're on Instagram for the very first time.
I am now on Instagram.
Go give him a follow, show him some love, because this is the guy that designs Bugattis. This car is so special that even the guys who work at Bugatti haven't seen it before. So they've all come down from the castle to have a closer look. This car really has been under wraps. It's been like hidden away for years. There's almost nothing about it online.
We've never really talked about this car.
But it needs to be spoken about. This is incredible. I personally love it. I love the long nose. I love the doors, obviously. I would love to see a Bugatti have some kind of butterfly doors or something. I mean, the EB110 has like the scissor doors, which is quite cool. But do you reckon there's any possibility of some butterfly doors? Damn it! Okay, no, this is really exciting. Disappointingly, never came to market.
That's true.
You love this car, don't you?
It's amazing, yeah? It would be so nice.
It would be so nice, yeah. The doors especially. You've been fighting to get some butterfly doors on a Bugatti for a while.
And the drivetrain idea, the whole concept, I mean, it was such a cool idea, and I would have wished that we would have been able to make it.
Well, maybe we can still make it in future.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope, right? Fingers crossed. You've got the engine here, but the gearbox in the back.
That's the trick, yeah. For weight balancing reasons, we put the engine behind the center of the wheel.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a front mid-engine, actually.
Right.
And then we put the gearbox out the back to balance the car out of 50-50 weight balance ratio. Right?
There you go, guys.
But the clue is, or was, that this whole internal combustion engine drivetrain was interchangeable to an electric drivetrain.
That's crazy.
So where the gearbox and the engine used to sit before would then be
the batteries,
and then you would have 4 electric engines, and you would have full digital torque vectoring control over the revolution of each wheel. It would have been absolutely amazing.
So before you bought the car, you could specify whether you wanted it to be fully electric or with the twin turbo V8.
That's right, yeah. There would have been both options.
Actually, some markets in future won't even allow combustion engine cars
in certain
anymore.
cities as well.
Yeah.
So that would have been the option.
W16, that's what we all know is in the Chiron. Why do you not have a W16 in something like this? You've gone for a V8. Is that just to keep the cost down, or?
Well, it made sense in a way that we said, okay, we want to position a car below the Chiron.
Yeah.
That meant also the price level would have gone down. And that meant it would have been a car for more daily use, right? So the Chiron is supposed to be the pinnacle, and this one's supposed to go below. Having said that, the Chiron has a W16. A W16 engine is 2 V8s like this. It's 2 V8s like this, right?
Yeah.
So for a car to go below the Chiron, it made sense to do just one V8.
Okay,
right?
yeah. So what is it, Frank, 21 and 22 inch?
That's right, 21, 22, and we did that because the whole proportion of the car is based around having the cabin sit on the back.
Right.
And so for the height to wheel size proportion, it was much more healthy to have the rear wheel 1 inch bigger. You also see that the tire also has a bit more meat on the rear, right? So all to give it this forward thrusting proportion.
So if this actually came to the market, how close would this have looked to what we see in front of us?
It would have pretty much looked exactly like this.
Really?
Yes.
So the whole back would have opened like this?
Which is the sensation of the boot, right?
Wow.
And the sensation that we hadn't offered before ever.
Okay, this needs to happen, you guys. This needs to happen. The Chiron grille is kind of higher, but this one is wider. And you couldn't make it the same height as the Chiron because then your hood would have had to be higher, and then you couldn't have seen over from the driver's seat.
Here you have a front engine, that means you sit behind the engine, that means you have to look over the bonnet.
Yeah.
And there's a certain law for homologations of road cars that says from your eye point, you need to be able to see down 4-degree vision line and not have anything obscure your view.
Oh, right.
And that's why the bonnet needed to be really low. And that's why also we were even able to have these fenders, you know, elevate themselves slightly over the volume of the...
Right. Oh my God, I'm so happy that we got to see this car today. And also have Frank here, because I wouldn't have known, you know, half that stuff. You are actually the guy who sat there day after day designing this car with a team, obviously, as well.
Yeah, you know, you have to say, this is a different time. I was a design director back then.
Yeah.
And this is a whole team of some really talented people that have worked on this car, exterior, interior. So my part back then wasn't really so much the styling.
So you were the intern, were you?
I was an intern. Yeah. I brought the coffee. No, my part back then was the concept of the doors, the concept of the tailgate.
But that's the main thing.
The idea with the wide horseshoe.
Yeah.
And then another really talented person.
I didn't know they allowed interns to make such big decisions.
It was a teamwork.
Yeah.
And then there was a super talent for the interior, super talent for the rest of the styling on the exterior.
Yeah, of course. One more question for you. I'm full of questions. Why would you have design language from the most expensive car in the world on something that's meant to be an entry-level Bugatti?
Well, it's such an icon, no, for us. This car, the Type 57 ST Atlantic, is considered as one of the most beautiful cars in the world. And so why not reference to that jewel that you have in the history? Right?
Yeah, okay, I get that. I suppose what has happened now, since this one didn't get made, now we have La Voiture Noire.
Yeah.
The 11 million euro car, the one-off, which also references the Type 57 SE.
Yeah.
It also has this center line going all the way down the car.
That's true.
So did you guys go, okay, well, because we couldn't make this one, let's make a one-off that refers to that car instead?
I wouldn't really put it that way. The La Voiture Noire, the new one, was meant to be the ultimate GT. So 2 people plus luggage, traveling in style and comfort, right? And so why not use the Chiron as a basis?
Yeah.
And to position it in that price range, had to have a 16-cylinder.
Of
right?
course.
So that's why we decided to do it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though, this is part of our history as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. There's the explanation. All right. Go follow Frank on Instagram. He's up and running in the digital world.
All right.
Thank you so much, as always.
Well, thanks for coming by.
Still the Wuhan handshake. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our look around this incredible car. This is the Bugatti Atlantic. All right, we're out. Love you. Bye.
Bye.